Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. We're looking forward to a great lineup today. We've got some really great contributors and a special last-minute add-on that I'm excited to hear from a little bit later. So I'm going to get started. Talk about communication is on the communicator. I've seen a lot of examples of this recently, and it's really something that as an organization, we're going to be focusing on, not just from a sales perspective, but across the entire board, and then just understanding the power of effective communication. I've experienced a lot of different situations, whether it's a processor and a loan originator interacting in a workplace chat about a loan. And just as a witness, I sit there and I try not to get it engaged in everybody's individual loans. I want everybody to work together to get there to where they're going on their own. But seeing some of the communication and not realizing how much context and tone is lost when you're communicating in a chat or in an email. It's so important to be intentional and thoughtful about how we deliver, the messages that we're sending. It will eliminate more unnecessary communication if you do it effectively the first time. So, what I want everybody to think through is really not what they say, but how they say it, and being a little bit more intentional. It's easy to be fast and furious, get a message out, respond quickly. I see it all the time, like, the least amount of words to respond to a message. Sometimes it's better not to respond if you don't have the time to actually effectively respond. And this goes to like everything from coaching in the moment or giving feedback or expressing your, how you feel about something to, the way we interact with our real estate agents, the way we communicate on social media. We have to be thoughtful and make sure that we understand that, different audiences are going to perceive us in different ways. And without context and intentionality in the way that we're messaging, and a clear understanding of what outcome we're hoping to get when we communicate, we're really going to be in a situation where we're not being effective. So I always, start with the outcome. This is something that I've worked through at a lot of times where you're like, hey, you want something to happen, you have something you're trying to get out of your head, and translating that effectively, it holds you back from getting it out. Sometimes you just gotta record a video, record a voice memo, communicate, share the context, share the pain point, help understand where you're trying to go, and get that message out. Hey, listen, I know we had a setback here. I want to prevent this from happening in the future. So here's some suggestions. And by the way, it would be great if you gave me some feedback on anything I could do better. Like, make it a two-way street. Be intentional. Make sure you're having a conversation that has dialogue and that you're vested in the outcome that you're striving for. So communications on the communicator. Don't just wing it. Be intentional. Focus on the context. Focus on the tone. Go the extra mile. Everyone always notices effective communication. Number two, I want to talk about being fearless. This is a market. This is a fear market right now that we're seeing. You have between the mortgage industry and the real estate industries setbacks over the last year when it comes to rates rising, no inventory, markets contracting substantially, a lot of fear about job security and all these different things, and then the broader market, the broader economy having the struggles that we're seeing with lots of layoffs happening across the board. So it's easy to play the fear game. It really, really is. I mean, over the last year and a half, it would have been very easy for me to, come to work every day and be like, hey, instead of hiring all these people, instead of doing the things that we're going to do, we're just going to play it safe because we want to see how the market plays out. That's, playing into fear, okay? At the end of the day, that's not the playbook we're going to focus on. We're going to take the approach of like, we have confidence in our vision. We have confidence in our business model. We know that there's going to be $2 trillion of mortgages done this year. And we know no matter how much the broader market is impacted by, rates being high or no inventory, we know that we're not currently doing $1 trillion worth of business. So the size of the market tells me that we're not going to be impacted by a bad year. It's up to us to go get some of that business, go get more of that business. So having the confidence in yourself, having the confidence in knowing that there's business out there to get is all how you put yourself in a position where you can make logical decisions. Fear is an emotion, understanding that fear is an emotion, okay? We're going to focus on logic, okay? So like, to me, I'm going to bet on myself. I've been doing this for 20 years. I feel really, really good about our playbook, and I'm going to go out there and grow. And every single time that, there's a setback in the economy or the broader financial market, I'm not going to let that take me off my plan. That's not going to change my trajectory. That's not going to change the effort that I make every day. So making sure that we're doing the same thing, like don't let fear get in the way of your success. Don't let fear get in the way of you betting on yourself and doing what you need to do to win today. Good day in the market, bad day in the market, doesn't matter. I got to go do the things I need to do to win every single day. So that's the culture that we've created here. That's the environment that we have. If you join the daily sales huddle, you'll get that energy, you'll get that support. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to you. Are you going to let fear, are you going to let emotions, be the things that you focus on that get in the way of your success? Or are you going to take action and lead your life from a point of being fearless and focusing on winning every single day? So that's my challenge to you. We try to live that every single day. We want to make sure we're leading by example as an organization. And we challenge all of our loan originators to do the same exact thing. Now's the time to grow. Now's the best time to grow. There isn't a real estate agent out there that's not willing to have a conversation. It's just a matter of you putting together the right messaging, providing the right value proposition, and having that conversation and partner moving forward. One more thing before I hand it off. Really want to get everybody on the same page of understanding that, Breon Price, we had a conversation yesterday, and he brought up a really great point, which is, understanding that any loan officer can get a loan. Okay, like, we all know that, the rocket mortgages or the better mortgages out there, like, these are not experienced people doing the loans, right? We know the quality of the originator in that environment is not going to be anywhere near as good as the quality of the local expert. And we're not just talking about loan manufacturing. We're talking about understanding that local market, understanding, the dynamics of the market for that home buyer. So, knowing that and sitting there and saying, hey, anybody can get a loan. Now, the question is, can you get another one? Can you get the realtor to send you the second one, the third one, the fourth one? And that's really the opportunity we get every single day. Sometimes we get a buyer and it wasn't referred to us by the realtor. We just had the buyer from a friend of a friend or a referral from somebody else. And we don't take the opportunity to focus on what we can create throughout that transaction, throughout those interactions. And that's the opportunity I want everybody thinking about is, when we go through these transactions, the title agent, the homeowner's insurance agent, your processor, like every single opportunity you have to showcase your abilities, your expertise, the quality of your service, the quality of working with you is an opportunity to win the next one, earn the next one, earn the next two. Like understanding that every single time. We can't take things for granted, okay? Every single time is that home buyer, first time home buyer, first time they're buying a home. You want to wow them to earn those future referrals, but you also want to wow every single person. And again, this goes back to something that we've really been focusing on a lot here is the standard. There's a standard, okay? Your standard tells everything about you. And when you're non-negotiable, when it comes to your standard, that's when you really see the exponential growth. Like we're not going to settle for anything below our standard. Like this is the way we operate. We had a record month. I'm not sitting around here, popping champagne, all happy. Like there's so many things we need to get better at. I'm not going to be happy if we're not meeting our standard in anything we do. Like any element of what we do, I'm not going to be satisfied. Same thing with you. You have an opportunity every single time to earn the next loan. And the loan might come from the borrower that refers you a customer. It might come from the agent. It might also come from the least expecting person that you can imagine, like, the person at the homeowner's insurance company or the person at, our account executive from the lender. Like everybody's an opportunity. Show your professionalism, wow them with your service, do a +1 on everything that you do, and realize that you're working on earning the next one, not the current one. I'm going to hand it off and I'll be back shortly.
What's up, UMortgage family? It's Lucas here down in the Hollywood, Florida branch, and I'm here to talk to you guys about our Appraisal Masterclass Lunch and Learn that we hosted. So what I did is I pretty much invited every realtor that I know, ones that I've worked with, ones that I haven't worked with. I told everyone to invite other realtors that they thought might find the event valuable, especially my VIP realtors. I made sure to tell them that as well, and a lot of them did end up bringing realtors that I've never worked with that they know. And as far as like how I reached them was I did a few different avenues. So first I did email blast. So using Salesforce, I did a few email blasts that way, and everything was linking to an Eventbrite link. So that's where I sent everyone so we can track the registrants and the attendees. So I did that. I also used the Reach app. For those of you that are not aware, it's an app on your phone where you can blast text people and you can use like merge fields. So it's actually coming from your phone number. So I used that. I also called, especially to my VIPs, like I would call them and give them a heads up a few weeks before, or then again sooner, just kind of letting them know that I really wanted them to be there. And then just a couple days before the event, we started calling to confirm, calling or texting to confirm. And anyone that did attend, like just confirming that they're coming, and that sort of thing. I had a few people ask for Zoom links, so I did a Zoom there on the spot. But my goal was to get everyone in there. So we had 18 people attend in person and one person via Zoom, and so that was like the overall attendance. And as far as what we covered, I thought about it, and I was talking to Jason at Nationwide Appraisal Network. And so what we did was we did a pretty much the masterclass focus was on ADUs, which is accessory dwelling units. And we talked about those and how do you determine or differentiate that from an actual duplex, and just how to identify it, what's the right way to do it, permitted, not permitted, that sort of thing. So it's something that comes up a lot in our area, maybe in your area too, and it's something that not a lot of people talk about. I got a lot of positive feedback regarding the topic. A lot of people said, "Oh, I learned new things," and that sort of thing. And then after the event, what I did is anyone that I hadn't worked with or I didn't really know, I was calling and texting them and trying to set up a coffee or a lunch or some sort of one-on-one. And we've had a few of those. And then anyone that I have worked with before, I don't necessarily need to have like lunch or coffee with them. But I was more reaching out to them and asking them for feedback. I was asking everybody for feedback, but also specifically to the ones that I've worked with before. I was just saying, "Hey, how'd you like the event? Do you have any feedback for me? Anything that I can do better next time?" And I actually did walk away with quite a bit of notes, quite a few notes that I can improve for the next time around. And then my call to action pretty much to LOs or anyone watching this sales huddle is to attend the daily sales huddles, the peer-to-peer ones that we have. Talk to other LOs, reach out to other LOs that you see are doing things that you like or you want to try, ask them how they're doing it. That's part of our community and that part of what makes it so strong. And then also try something new. This event was actually the first educational event that I've done. I've done other events, but they were more like networking sort of things. This was the first one that I've done that was educational, and I'm really happy that I tried it. It was a great turnout, and I'm excited to do the next one.
Hi guys, I'm Lauren Moore from the Cincinnati branch here, and today I just want to talk to you about showing up everywhere. So for me, that means getting really involved in the community, and it was a very natural thing for me to start getting involved. It kind of took like a snowball effect, but um, back when I was in college, I got really involved with Ronald McDonald House, and I've been volunteering there for 8 years. So that was kind of the first thing that I started to do where I regularly volunteer. I've met a bunch of people, and then eventually they asked me to be on their young professional board. So that was kind of like the first board that I started sitting on. And then from there, I got really involved in the city that I work in a lot. So in that business council. And from there, meeting people in that business council kind of snowballed into a couple other groups that I sit on. So um, one of them being Emerging Leaders of Northern Kentucky, which is a great group that my friends started. And those monthly meetups have anywhere from 50 to 100 people. It's crazy. But I really enjoy doing that. So I would just say if you're looking to get involved, do it naturally, right? Don't go out and try to specifically be like, I'm going to sit on 5 boards, because I don't think you might not get the results you want if you do that. So for me, it's definitely just been like a very natural progression of getting really involved. And coincidentally, all these people that I'm sitting on these boards with and working with, I actually truly enjoy their company. So they're actually my real friends, not just people I met through networking. And for me, that's really important because I am definitely a more casual kind of person. You're never going to catch me in a head to toe suit. That's just not the vibe for me. So finding these more laid back networking opportunities, and then, that have also turned into real friends, has been huge. Not just for my business, but it makes me really happy to know that I have an awesome group of friends that are also very business minded and whatnot. So yes, definitely would recommend trying to find something to get involved with. And as far as results go, I've definitely seen the results. But the thing is that you have to be consistent. So you can't go to a meeting, a networking thing once a week, once a month, or whatever, and just not always go to it. So you have to be consistent. Like every time that networking group meets, you need to go because you want those people to remember your face and what you do. And you do want to create actual relationships. So that would be my number one tip is just be consistent about it. Don't just go once and say, I didn't get anything out of it. Because I would say that probably once I started on the business council that I'm involved with, I would say it maybe took like, me going consistently probably like 9 or 10 times maybe to start actually seeing like solid results and referrals from that. And then now it's more of like a steady flow coming from, the multiple groups that I'm involved with. So definitely do that. And as far as how many events you should go to a month, so as loan officers, like we shouldn't be sitting behind a computer all day, right? Like we need to be out there, we need to be networking and just expanding our circle. And for me, at first, when I started doing this, my goal was 4 months or 4 events per month. And now I'm going to at least 4 events per week. So I'm all over the place. I'm showing up everywhere and making just really good connections and creating great relationships. And for me, that's what it's all about. So if I were you, if you're not using like a greatness tracker or something to track like, all the money making activities that you're doing, I would highly recommend doing that and hold yourself accountable or find an accountability buddy because it's super important. And if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. Like, I love talking about this, and I also just love networking and meeting new people. So let me know. I'm so happy to help. And then, other than that, just make sure you guys are joining the sales huddle. I mean, every time I join, there's always something new, knowledge wise that I can gain. So definitely do that and go out there and try something new today. Thanks so much, guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Caden Willard, the digital media producer here at UMortgage, handling all things video. And I gotta say, after handling the behind the scenes of our sales meeting since it started, I am so excited to finally be on it talking to all of you. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, we have a world-class marketing team here at UMortgage that is constantly creating fun and exciting content for our loan originators to use. Marketing has created so much content for you, but we want to make sure everyone knows how to use it and how to access it. Lucky for you, today there is a marketing training that will be happening on Microsoft Teams at 3 p.m. Eastern. Actually, every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll be having this training with members of the marketing team to walk you through everything that marketing has to offer and how you can utilize it. From our customizable Canva templates to daily social graphics, presentations, slide decks, and so much more. We'll also be focused on a specialized topic each week, like video best practices, Canva walkthroughs, and social media tips. So if you've been seeing other UMortgage LOs posting amazing graphics or hosting these great events and you're thinking, hey, I gotta get in on this, then you need to attend one of our trainings. There are so many great assets for you to use, so learning from the people who created them will give you the best insight on how to maximize what marketing has to offer. It's a perfect space for you to learn some tips to step up your marketing game, and if you have any specific marketing questions, this is a great place to bring it up and we can walk you through the answer. The team is also currently working on multiple different training videos, including CapCut and Canva, so keep an eye out for those. Now I know as a loan originator, you have a lot going on all at once, and sometimes your marketing can slip through the cracks, but it is so important to be on top of it. At UMortgage, we made it so easy for you to plug and play our content and make it work for you. We also have our marketing community group, so if you ever have an idea that you think we should create, post it in there and the team will review it. You are the ones out there handling relationships, so you know what the people are looking for. So help us help you. We know how important it is for loan originators to get what they have to offer out to the world, and our marketing team is working hard to have everything you will need to stand out and help create life-changing opportunities through homeownership. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope to see you today for our training at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tyler Carlston here in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm super excited to jump on the sales meeting today and just really talk about taking action. And more in particular, I'm talking about taking massive imperfect action. So what's that mean, Tyler? Well, taking massive imperfect action to me is just about taking at bats and swinging no matter what. Because see, what ends up happening is you build up things in your business that you want to do, things you want to execute on, And what ends up happening is you put them on the back burner because you think, oh, everything needs to be perfect. All the ducks need to be in a row. Everything needs to be flawless before I do something. Otherwise, people will make fun of me, or it's not going to convert well, or it's not going to work. When you know what, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is you actually doing it. Right. So that's where taking massive imperfect action comes from. It's not about like focusing on how good something is. It's just about going out and doing it. Right. Because what ends up happening is hard work compounds in this business. So everything you do today is going to be 45 to 60 days out as far as results. And so for me, it's just about staying consistent. So I need to make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do on a daily basis and staying consistent with it. Because I know, okay, this month may have been great. Next month may be great. But what's 60 days out? I don't know. So I have to keep hustling every single day and stay consistent if I want my success to continue to grow. So one of the main things I do to stay accountable is just time blocking. So every single day I'll identify the key points in my business that I need to focus on and set aside times each and every single day that I focus on those. And so everybody's schedule is going to be different. Some people have kids, some people don't. So there isn't one magic like solution to everything. Everything's going to be a little bit different per person. But the big thing is just finding out what works for you. And for me, it's early in the morning to get stuff done before client calls start. Once client calls start, then it's pretty slammed for me during the day. And then again, at the end of the day, that's where I get a lot of stuff done. And so for me, it's just about staying consistent with things that I know and I need to do in order to continue my success and continue producing at a high level. And so what this means for me is focusing on what's called money-making activities. So every single day, again, I'll time block money-making activities, whether that's following up with agents, whether that's posting on social media, whatever it may be. That is what I'm focusing on because I know that's what makes me money. And so it's just about staying consistent with that because at the end of the day, if you're not consistent, it's not going to work. It's just like going to the gym. If you only go to the gym for a week, do you think you're going to see results? No, it's about the consistency. Going 6, 12, 9, 18 months. Going consistent is how you get results. And so for me, it's just about taking massive imperfect action, not overthinking things. And again, I don't care what other people think. I could care less about their opinions. So that helps me a little bit. I know that's a hurdle some people struggle to get over with. But again, if you don't care what people think and just take massive imperfect action every single day, success will come. I don't care how inexperienced you are. I don't care what your knowledge level is. If you take more action than your competitor, guess what? If you outwork someone, you're going to outproduce them. Skill and talent only goes so far. Hard work is really what gets you there. Again, I'm new in this business, but I'm outproducing most people. That's because I don't let anyone outwork me. So the main thing is just taking massive imperfect action every day and just holding yourself accountable. Because if you can hold yourself accountable, you'll get stuff done. Because again, success doesn't last if you don't work hard. So, I mean, that's really the main thing that I try to focus on. And if you're interested in finding out how you can do it, talk to your peers, find out what you can do to get better because everybody at UMortgage brings something different to the table. Everybody has tips and advice to give to each other. So everybody's here to help each other. That's the best thing about UMortgage is our willingness to share so we can all win as a collective. So hopefully this helps. Remember, take massive imperfect action, and I'll talk to you soon.
Great lineup. Everybody crushed it today. Tyler, great call to actions. Lauren absolutely crushed it. Caden, everybody across the board. Great job. This has been a really awesome weekly sales meeting. So a couple things here before we wrap up. Number one is we have events coming up. Open invitation for anybody that wants to make a trip to go to these things next week. You know, we have the grand opening in Utah. So for their office, I'll be heading out there. We got a big group going out there. We're really excited to see the team. We also have events in Texas coming up, events in Raleigh. So, you know, one thing I really want to put out there is, you know, make the investment. This, you know, goes back to taking action. Going to one of these, you know, events, going to, you know, spend time with the team, of course, in person. There's nothing better than that. But more than anything, to be able to see what people are doing, how they're doing it. You know, the event that they're doing in Raleigh, like, you know, how are they targeting the audience? How are they getting people to show up? You heard a little bit from Lucas today about what he's doing. Like there's a little bit of nuance every single time where you just learn, a smidge of something different. And that exposure is what ultimately is going to make you the most confident to throw your own event or do it bigger next time. Like whatever that is, like it takes what it takes to learn from others that are doing it. So call to action would be take action, go to Raleigh, go to Dallas, come to Utah next week, get that exposure, spend some time with the team, get better. Last thing I want to put out there is just, get better every day as a whole. I think you heard it from, pretty much everybody on the lineup. You heard from Lauren talking about her approach to learning and contributing in her community and all the intentionality. You could hear it in her voice, how intentional she is about what she's doing. And you heard that from, Tyler, Caden as well. It's like, you want to be the person that people view as out of control, hungry to get better. It's not about winning. And that's a misconception. People think it's like ambition equals winning. It's not it. You can be out of control, hungry just to get better. And that's where we're at. And that's where the mindset of just like being able to like understand that like it's okay to pursue greatness. It's okay to pursue getting better. And sometimes getting better is not necessarily being the person hosting the event. Sometimes being better is like, hey, I'm going to go and learn how they did it. Like that's part of the process of getting better. It's not just being the one that's the teacher, but also being the one that's the student. So I think, when you hear like, what Caden's talking about, all the different ways that we're focused on, creating marketing assets. But again, creating marketing assets is great, but only if people use it. Adoption needs to be there. So, we're going to do all these different things. You saw the ticker at the bottom of this, reminder to go to the daily sales huddle. We're not doing that because we get paid when people go to the daily sales huddle. We're doing it because we put so much effort in the value that's going to be delivered that we want you to benefit from that value. We want you to take that value out there and apply it to your business. So like, it's all about intentionality. It's all about understanding that the more you focus on getting better, the more that you just let loose and are out of control to get better, the more you're going to see the results that you want. It's not about the calls. There's a lot of different ways to outwork people. If you outwork people when it comes to getting better, I can assure you that cumulatively you will become the best in your market. You'll dominate and you'll have all the things that you want. So that's my call to action. Get after it. Take action. You heard the theme today. Don't let fear get in the way of your success. Dominate your day and have a great rest of the day.